It seems like only yesterday that Dana White brought the big stars of the UFC out on stage to promote their new deal with clothing company Reebok. At the time, positivity was high.
Standing right here, right now, I could not be happier. The execution was flawless, the clothes are amazing, and more importantly, the only thing that matters to me is that the athletes love it, and they do.
The new deal did away with the Wild West of MMA outfitting that allowed fighters to wear whatever they chose into the cage. Instead, every UFC fighter would wear the new Reebok uniform, giving the promotion a unified look for the first time in history. But for the fighters, it also meant they could no longer wear their own sponsors on their clothing, removing an important income stream from an already difficult career. Instead, fighters were paid a guaranteed amount based on their tenure with the promotion. For some fighters, the new deal represented a massive pay cut. Positivity over the deal crashed overnight. Former Bellator and ONE champion Ben Askren was a perfect example of the problem with the deal for fighters. When he made his UFC debut in 2019, he was paid $3,500, the minimum allowed in the Reebok deal. It was a rude shock. Even when I was a nobody in Bellator, I made $20,000 on a fight, Askren said in interviews before UFC 235. Those were the wild days. Back then, guys in the UFC were making six figures on sponsorship stuff. The deal also sparked controversies like Donald Cerrone being fined for wearing a patch on his shorts dedicated to his grandmother, and former champion Max Holloway almost being barred from walking out with the Hawaiian flag. When the deal was first signed, the UFC said that the full value of the reported $70 million contract would be passed on to fighters. As of the end of 2019, with only a year left on the deal, the total paid to fighters stood a shade over $31 million. It's true that the deal has given the UFC a more uniform look, pun intended, and helped elevate MMA out of the anything-goes bloodsport image of its inception. But with the reported worth of the UFC now topping $7 billion, fighters on the roster will hope that whatever deal their corporate overlords sign next, it will give them more than Reebok ever did. After the break. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.